Good afternoon. Buenos días. Buenas tardes, mi gente. I am knowing that you are where you need to be, and I am so grateful that you are here with us at One Love Center in our celebration today, this Sunday. And just want to invite you to, if you have not invited anyone, go ahead and take this time to do so. It's going to be an amazing service celebration. And now we bring Reverend Rodney. No, the song. I'm sorry. The song. The song. La canción. The song. No, it's not I'm Choosing Heaven. It's the One Love Center song.
Yeah. There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the One Love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. One love, one life, one life, one life, one spirit divine. Yeah. One heart, one light, one life, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the sacred space, where we honor every face, the splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing, hand in hand, together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one light, one spirit divine. One heart, one light, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home to one love. To one love. Welcome home to one love. Where love grows, yeah. To one love.
One love. Yes, you are. Yes, we are. We are one and we are one love. I am Reverend Rodney Gittens. Again, welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living, our Sunday conversation celebration. And we have a wonderful time. And before we do anything else, like we like to do, is get grounded in truth, get centered in truth. And before we even do that, we're going to have our official welcome to our mission and our vision. And so we're going to start with that right now, because that's very important. Everybody's on a mission in life. We're on a mission to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. Isn't that what it's all about? We all want to have the best life possible. And that's what we see for ourselves. And we know everybody has a vision for their life. And we envision the world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of learning and the application of the spiritual principles. So you can have better spiritual living, right? Makes sense. Our community is lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual film. Also, One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. So that's a lot to say. Welcome. Welcome, everyone, whether you're a first time guest or you're a repeat visitor, one of our members, uh, everyone and everywhere, welcome. Because in truth, we're open. We're open at the top, which is our theme of the year. And I say, we welcome the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. Please know that we support you in being the best that you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows, like you heard in the song. Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. And so glad that you are here with us. And us is, as you already saw, Ellen Suazo, our one of our licensed practitioners. And we also have our return visitor, our return guest, Jay Cross, who is a wonderful, dynamic presence in the world. She is a Unity youth leader in Unity of Montclair, I believe. And also, no, well, anyway, just in case, she's going to remind us what she does and where we're at. But for right now, she's here with us. And she's also a member of the People of African Descent New Thought Group. And she works with that wonderful organization as well. So I'm going to bring in Ellen Suazo and Jay Cross. And we're going to jump into conversation. So Jay, please remind us, where in the world are you being of service?
Um, I'm in all zip codes, but physically I am I am in New Jersey, and I am affiliated with Unity Ministry, specifically two of them here in New Jersey, Unity of Sussex and Unity of Montclair.
Okay, good, good. And you work with the youth there?
I do. I do actually. I am the youth minister at Unity of Montclair, but I also do online small group studies with adults. So, you know, the world is my playground.
All right. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here to play with us.
Yes.
And not only play, but pray. So
Oh, yes.
yeah, so she's also a dynamic prayer as well. She's most really awesomely trained in this way, and it shows by her experience. So we're going to have Jay do our evocation. All right. And
Okay.
then we'll continue after that.
All right. I invite us to take a deep inhale and exhale. Whew. And if it's in your practice, I invite you to close your eyes to the external and open your heart and mind to that internal place of remembrance, where we remember that we are expressions of the allness that is, divine presence, source of life, wisdom, and love. We take this opportunity to pause together and acknowledge the one life moving through all of us, connecting mind and heart gathered here. We open ourselves to insight, to clarity, to whatever truth we are ready to receive today. May this time together be guided by grace, understanding, and love. May our words be your words, and our hearts open to growth and infinite possibility. Let us be fully present with one another, grounded in the love that we are and that you are, and with shared purpose. We give thanks for this bountiful gathering, for the gift of community, for the unfolding good that begins right here and right now. And we faith these words forward, knowing that it is already done. And so it is.
And so it is. And now it is.
And now
Awesome.
it is.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for grounding us in our celebration. Awesome. Awesome. So we are here to end the month talking about practice of becoming. And today we're talking about love as a daily commitment. I call it mission possible. You know, we're all on a mission, you know, and it's got to be about love. Maybe some people get it twisted somewhere along the way. However, love is a daily commitment, and that's really sometimes it seems more difficult than it really is, right? Wouldn't you guys say so? You know, I know many of us will start the day, you know, I am love, you know, and then we get all day to prove it. And there seems to be somebody who's going to step on our toe one way or another, you know, seemingly get in our way, seemingly, you know, have us to exercise that love muscle, you know, I mean, in a very conscious way, you know, as a commitment. You committed. Let's see how much love you really are about, you know. So that's what. Anybody want to comment on that before we move any further?
Yeah, no. Everything is in theory, right? When we come to service and we listen, this is the theoretical portion, the
Mhm.
hypothetical portion. And then source provides the opportunity for us to put it into practice. That's why it is a practice. It's not just come in and listen, then we have to go out and actually do it. It's like if you were teaching me how to cook and I'm only watching you, I'll never know how to cook unless I do it. And in the doing, I think it's important to know that we're going to make mistakes. We're going to mess up, right? And to embrace all of that because that's how we learn. That's how we learn. We have to fumble, we have to fall. You know, it's like the baby now learning to walk. It crawls, it stands up, and it's like, oh, this is a bit scary. And sometimes loving is a bit scary. And we want to revert, but it's okay. It's okay. Embrace it all. It all belongs. It
All
all
right.
belongs.
Ellen, you're muted. Yeah.
Okay. I love what you said, Jay, because I have been shifting from the perception that love is always the way I like it to be. How about if I start practicing or perceiving that in the imperfection, there's love, that in the imperfection, everything in divine order is perfect. And what if in the imperfection, instead of thinking that love is this beautiful, romantic, or only good in our human language, how about if I just be grateful? How about if I just be in gratitude for all?
Yes.
Regardless of how it's showing up. And you know, to me, that has become a shift in consciousness. And when I do that, I feel that I can embrace it all, knowing that all is working for my greater yet to be, not just for mine, but for all.
Absolutely.
Sounds like love to me. Yeah. So hey, let's jump into a quote, and I'll put it up on the screen for everybody. Uh-oh. It says, perhaps I'll start it off. Perhaps the three greatest words in life are God is love. Love is the very nature of God. Frederick Bales, I think it means your mind can heal you. You know, and it's like, yeah, they're great words, but like you've already heard, it takes some practice. Love is the very nature of God. And to me, the question is, I mean, it doesn't matter whose idea of God. I fully believe that all the major religions know that there is a supreme being. You know, they come from the place of one, of oneness, the one mind, the one life, the creator of all. And I always kind of imagine, God saying that I mean, everything is created from God. So God says, how do I love me? Let me count the ways, and made everything out of itself, just to see love in action everywhere, because that's the nature of God, to create, and creating from a place of love. And as co-creators, we get to do the same thing, as Ellen was saying. So anybody want to comment? We have a reflection. Anybody want to jump in on that?
I'll read the reflection. And for those of you that are here now, and for those of you that are watching the broadcast later on, do take time to do this reflection. And the question is, how do I currently understand love? As a feeling, a choice, or a fundamental reality? How do you understand love? And I think that Jay and I started by expressing, how do we see love? How do we practice love? And the importance of practicing every moment, because life does really do give us so many opportunities to practice love.
Yes. Thank you, Ellen. And I would add that love is all of the above: a feeling, a choice, a fundamental reality. And each one has its place, just like water, right? Is it less water because it's ice as a solid? Is it less water because it's vapor as a cloud? Is it, does it lose its characteristics because the form may be different? It does not. And for me, love is the same thing. All of it matters. That feeling nature, because we are feeling beings, right? We have that essence, and that feeling pushes us forward in to do certain things and to be kind. But then in moments when Reverend Rodney was talking about, where somebody comes and it feels difficult to love them, when it's easy, that's the choice. Then we are in choice to actually be the love that we unnaturally are, because we are expressions of God. And if God is love, then we are love. And so in that moment where we are caught up with the external happenings of life, right? We are called to be a choice. Are we going to practice who we say we are? Are we going to live in that moment? And the fundamental reality, God is love, and there's only one power, one presence active in the universe, and that is God. And so love is our fundamental reality. So all of it for me belongs.
And that's great. Thank you, Jay, for that. And Ellen, thank you for reminding our viewers, whenever you view this, the recording of it, it could be a month later or a couple of months later, this still applies. To take a look at how we understand love, how we understand the nature of God, and I love what it says, a choice.
Yeah.
Because we are these thinking creatures, we have the ability to choose. However, a choice of to love or not love, or that can be kind of dangerous. That when it really becomes a commitment, like
Yes.
in the face of something happening, I choose love. So it's for a moment. It's like momentary doubt. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I have a choice. Not really, but yeah, you have a choice.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
what comes to me is that we forget who we are. We forget the essence of who we are. And when I remember who I am, then I remember that my brother and sister, or any being, is love as well. It's the forgetting.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there are people who are trained to ignore the fact that they are loved. And I'm talking about people who are like in conflict. You know, soldiers, you know, that are gonna, you know, kill each other or press a button, you know, to bomb people. You know, that's choosing a different way, uh, making a commitment to not choose love. You know, and so there are people who are trained that way. You know, because those certainly are not acts of love. You know, and
But
so
that's because they forgot who they are, Reverend Rodney. Because
yeah,
if they remember who they are, they will not do that. That's, that I really feel that so strongly.
yeah, yeah.
I
Remember and
think that
honor.
when we forget and we're so unconscious, so many of us are so unconscious. And when I see things that do not align with who we are, who I really am, I said to myself, wow, I really must remember more often.
Yeah,
So my brother and sister can remember as well.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
honor that memory of who we are.
yeah.
You know, because and again, as Jay was saying, it takes practice.
Reverend Roddy, you mentioned about being trained um, to not be practitioners of love or soldiers of love. um, and there's a movie called, I believe it's called Hurt Ridge. Anyway, I know there's Ridge in the name. The thing is, this soldier was a pacifist and he refused to pick up a rifle to cause harm. And he was ridiculed by his fellow soldiers and everything. This was the war with the Japanese. And at the time when he went out, he saved he saved not only his fellow soldiers, but the Japanese soldiers as well. So he stood rooted in the show. He had, he had a choice, right? He could pick up the gun, which went against his belief and who he said he was,
Mhm.
or he could stand firm, rooted in knowing I am love and I'm expression of love, and that is what I am here to do and be. Regardless of what happened to him, he stood committed to his practice. So we always have a choice. We
Mhm.
always have a choice, you know? And they jailed him. He did not care. And when we look at other individuals like Martin Luther King, right? Uh, They so much inhumanity was acted on them, right? It was crazy. And yet they still gave love,
Mhm.
even to those who harmed them.
That's
They
right.
gave love. So it's always a choice.
That's right. That's right. We're always at choice. That's so
Yeah.
true. And that was a very uh, moving film, you know, especially for the Japanese, you know, because he
Yes.
surrendered. You know, they caught his vision as well,
Mhm.
because there's just one guy, you know, and all these Japanese soldiers. So that was very good, great point. Thanks for bringing
Yeah.
that up. Yeah, let's go into the next quote, and it said, and who wants to start that?
I can do it. You can see everything with the eyes of love. You can be aware that love is all around you. Ruiz Don Miguel, The Four Agreements. I love that book, by the way. It
Mhm.
says page 128. Should I also read the reflection?
If you like, yeah.
Okay. What practices help me return to a loving awareness when judgment or fear arises? Ooh, goosebumps. Reverend Rodney, you want to take a stab at that one?
Oh, you set me up, huh? Okay. Well, I tell you, um, the first practice for me is reflection, uh, because now I have a practice of looking within, uh, of what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing. It kind of comes up rather quickly, um, about what I'm doing. Am I loving myself? You know, am I doing actions that are loving for me and for others? And so that's the first thing is listening to words I'm saying, or what I'm doing, or the reaction of others to what I'm saying or doing. So that really is that awareness. That really is being aware of what's happening. Because if I'm not feeling like there's love all around me, then I got to first look at me. What am I seeing or not seeing with the eyes of love? I also call it the eyes of God, the God's eye view.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, if like if something seems blurry, then I've got to do the cleaning on in the inside behind the eyes. So
Yes.
that's the first practice for me. Um, the next one is most likely, I would say, meditation, because I need to get still. We
Mhm.
talked about that last week. I need to get still and reconnect, as Ellen was saying, to remember, get back to my mind, my first mind, that's I am love. God is love. You know, I am of God, so therefore I am love. And those, I would say, those are the first thing. The fear as well. Usually with the fear, I'm like, right where I am is the presence of God. I have nothing to fear. That's one of my affirmations. But anyway, my mantras. Anybody else want to jump in on that?
For me, is breath. For me, the first thing I do is breathe. That kind the breath centers me, and then I do the reflection. I look at what I'm judging, right? Because most of the time is my judgment of it. Am I judging it as good or bad? And so that space of judging it. How about if I could just be with it
Mm-hmm.
without judging it? That definitely is a shift in my practice, and but it's really serving me in so many ways.
Yeah. Ellen, I resonate with that breath because the minute I take an inhale, my body remembers to settle down and
Mhm,
return to truth. I close my eyes and I go to that space and I feel immediately centered, peaceful, grounded.
mhm,
And then the way my mind works, it tends to be on the logical side. And I always say to myself that there's only one power and presence active in the universe. That is God the good. Therefore, what's before me is also God. What is the invitation to me right here, right now? What is I being invited to do? You know? And from that place, then I act. And it's been my saving grace. It's been my saving grace. Because I also recognize, I even acknowledge, I'm like, I'm feeling anger right now.
mhm,
Why am I feeling angry? Why am I
Mm-hmm.
feeling hurt? What about this situation? What am I being invited to do? How am I being invited to show up? And at the end of the day, regardless of what my answer response is, it's always love. At the bottom of it, it is always love. Give compassion, give grace, give understanding, give, patience. At the bottom of all of those things, it's always love. It's
mhm,
always love.
mhm. Well, if we said that all is love, that's all it can be.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? And I know for some people that are listening to us might be saying, yeah, that's because your life is so sweet, or you're not going through what I'm going through. And I think that we all have an opportunity to be invited. But for me, for like taking that breath, and that to me centers me, like you said, but also taking a pause. Like I don't have to react. I don't have to act. I don't have to do anything. I can just be with what is. And what came to me is a conversation I had with my daughter a few days ago. And I just felt like my whole blood went up, right? And I was
Mm,
like, okay. I said, okay, take a breath. And because we were on the phone, I just stayed quiet. I decided that I didn't have to answer. I decided that I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to scream. I didn't have to do anything. I could just be silent. And that silent, it went so long that I believe that she thought that I had hung up on her, because then the phone went muted. And I just felt like it's okay. It's okay. I don't
Yeah.
need to respond. I don't need to react. And how about if we, in whatever situations we have, we feel so empowered that we don't feel the need to react, that we don't feel the need to fix, that we don't feel the need to control. you
Yeah.
know how about we could just be with it, pause with it, just be with it. And
Yeah.
when we can and that is a practice. It did not just came to me just like that, I promise you that. I used to be reactive at one point, and there's times still that I'm reactive. But the more I practice, the more I can see myself and be with myself.
Yes.
And when I'm with myself, I am being with love, because that's, like you said, Jake, that's all there is.
Absolutely. The
Yes.
sacred pause. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Ellen.
It is, and it's really is necessary, to just stop. you know, Especially when it comes to, like, as you're mentioning, like wanting to be right, wanting to be in control. That's like, and I noticed, like, in moments of anger or confusion or strife, or whatever, our breathing gets very shallow,
Mm-hmm.
which means we're not oxygenating our brain, our ability to think clearly, or to even, when I say think clearly, to get back to our regular way of being, because we are so locked in with on that track. And so, and this is something that, we're not saying this just for ourselves. Everybody, take a look at what happens in those moments when you're off track, unsettled, opportunities to choose not love. And so I'm saying to reflect back to those moments and to prepare just in case something comes up. Like, what would I do if that happened? What choice would I make? So we can prepare ourselves in that, if that were to come up. Not
Yes.
not to, like, want it to come up, like, hey, go ahead, make me angry. Make me angry. Let me see how I act. No, no. But so we can catch ourselves. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
because, and I always talk about driving. I do a lot of driving. You just never know what people are going through. Like, somebody driving in front of you, and maybe they're all over the road. Maybe they're dodging a pothole, but from me, it looks like, oh, what are they, crazy? Am I seeing with the eyes of love? You know, or I'm like, they're in my way, and I can't control them, so I get angry because I can't control them, and for some reason they're not, you know, driving the way I think they should drive. How could they not know? Of course, you should know. You should drive it in accordance with what I say is the law, you know, and I have to take a breath, and I've been really working at that for the most of the month. There's no complaints, I get right into blessing mode. I bless them, and as I bless them, I bless myself. I'm at peace, and it usually happens that quickly. And I find myself less and less being perturbed about how people are driving. Yeah.
No, as you mentioned that, Reverend Rodney, what I've realized, when we don't know, we pass judgment. And when we get additional information, all of a sudden compassion wells up in us.
Yeah.
Can we get to the point where we automatically give compassion without even knowing? And I think that's the invitation, especially like if I knew it was Ellen in front of me, I would give her so much grace and a bigger pass than somebody I don't know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So can we get to that place of not needing it to show up a certain way or be a certain way or have access to additional information? Say we find out that the person in front of us just got news that their mom passed. All of a sudden, oh my God, yeah, it's okay, right?
Right, right.
It's like this disconnect. Like we need that filler in between in order to get to compassion, to get to understanding, to get to love, being expressions of love. So I think the invitation is, can we naturally be that way without that middle part? We
Hmm.
don't need all that. Just be love. And so by that way, we automatically extend grace. We automatically extend compassion because we don't know. It doesn't matter because they're deserving of it.
Hmm.
Right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we
Yeah.
do know, you know.
Yes.
And why are they deserving? Because so are we, because there's only one, you
Only
know.
one.
And
Yeah.
that's that full brings us back full circle, never beginning, never ending. And that's what you're saying. You know, it's like,
Yes.
no, there's nothing in between in reality.
Right.
There's nothing that really disrupts it. It's like that choice that we allow ourselves to make, and we might it might seem like we're stepping outside of that circle of oneness of love, and we're really not. As Ellen was saying, we just forgot. Oh, I never left the circle. I am one of the circle. I am one of the one. Oh, okay. And like you're saying, to get back to that mindfulness means, well, there's a saying that I heard a long time ago, um, and I think it was more like for in a 12-step realm of recovery. But if you never leave the basics, you never have to go back to the basics.
Mm.
So you don't have to forget to remember, or you know what I mean. It's like we don't have to remember because we didn't forget.
Right.
See?
It's like knowing 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 + 2 is 4. We don't say it constantly in our mind, but in moments when we need it, it naturally arises, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's not we forget, it's always there for us, just
That's
like
right.
love. It's always there for us.
That's it.
Yeah.
Love plus love equals love. All right. Let's go to the next quote. You guys are great. All right. All right.
I'll read that
Okay.
one. In an intelligent study of the teachings of the science of mind, we come to understand that all is love, and yet all is law. Love rules through law. Holmes Ernest, Science of Mind, page 43. Our reflection for this quote is, where have I seen the results of my thoughts and actions reflect a deeper spiritual law at work?
Mhm.
So, I want to share. I have found that. Okay, so I'm not really sure where to start. So, I have found that when I have put something out into the universe, it listens unconditionally. It listens and fulfills. Even when I think I just release it, there's no attachment. I've released it out, and then I see its manifestation. But in hindsight, so when they say hindsight is 2020, I feel that is so real because when I look at my life, when I said I wanted a man to love me and accept me as I am, and I had this whole vision for my life, and I released it. My grandmother said I wanted too much. It wasn't possible. But I held that, right? I held it in thought, I held it in mind, I held it in trust. Yes, yes, yes. And I released that. I wasn't really thinking about it like on a conscious level. And then, you know, years later, I realized, oh my God, this came to pass. You know what I mean? Like I look at my husband now and I look at the life I'm living, and I dreamt that, you know? And the universe came through. Like unconsciously, I was creating this world for my life for myself. I didn't realize my power of creation. First of all, I'm learning that now, right? Over the last years, I've been learning it. But I created that with the thoughts I held in mind, in heart, and in that that belief. And the universe, and it is reflected in many other aspects of my life. And so I have come to be very mindful and very deliberate about the thoughts I hold and the things I speak out, because I know the universe is eager and ready and willing to make it into reality, to make it into reality. So, yeah.
Well, I have to go after you because you just, yes, I have to say yes because I say the universe is always conspiring
Yes.
to provide to us what we require and so much more and so much more. And a lot of times as we go through it, as we go in through the steps and through the stages of it, a lot of times because we have let go of it, we're not even aware that this is actually happening, you know? And a few weeks ago, I was thinking to myself, you know, I am living my dream. I am living my dream because I live in paradise. For many years, I was wondering, how the heck am I going to do that? And one day I just let go of it, like you said. And I didn't think it was possible, but the universe showed me it was possible. You know, not only it was possible, but it is possible because I am living it. You know, I live
Yes.
in paradise. I live in Puerto Vallarta. And last night we went to see with the kids, they were like, oh, let's go to see the sunset. And I was just like, oh yeah, let's go do that. And we went and we were there and we just stayed until 9 o'clock p.m. And then we were watching the stars and it was so beautiful. And I was thinking to myself, wow, look where I'm at. Look where I'm at. You know,
Yes.
paradise. And so I have to say, please, if you don't believe it, believe it. You know, it is so. It is so. Your God, whatever you want to call it, whatever, it doesn't really matter what you want to call it. Just know that you are a powerful creator. Okay, no, that is your superpower. If you have
Yes.
never known that that is your superpower, that is your superpower because divine is living through you, as you, in you, and is experiencing life as you. So it
Yes.
has to give you your heart's desire. It has no
Ellen, I wanted to send you emojis, but I don't know how to do this on this. It was like, oh my God, you get all the heart emojis. For real, for real.
choice.
You
Thank
know, I don't know if Reverend Rodney is going to remember this, but an opportunity to go to Egypt had been presented to us at the last Celebrating Our Souls event from a presenter. And I was like, oh my God, I want to go to Africa, but it was too pricey. You know, it was outside the range that I wanted. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to Africa next year. And that was for 2026. I said to myself, I'm going to go to Africa. And why it is the opportunity to go to Africa at a fraction of the cost was presented to me, and I was able to go for 2 weeks to Kenya. And I'm like, that's because I said to the universe, and I said it with confirmation. You know, it's like when you go to a restaurant and you place an order. You don't like, where's my no, you like, I've placed my order and you know it's coming. And you sit down and you have conversations with the person until the food comes, right? So I have placed my order. I'm going to Africa, and then I waited and it was delivered to me.
you.
You know?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
absolutely.
So let's place our orders right now, right here.
And we are doing it all the time. We place our order to be in Lake Chapala, you know,
Yes.
yeah, and so shall it be, you know. And the thing is, what you both are saying, it comes from love. It says love
Yes.
rules through the law. So, like we were talking about in the very beginning, it's like, yeah, you know, it's one thing, you know, to intellectualize love and to think love and all that, but then comes the practice, and the practice happens through the law. You know,
Mhm.
it's like prayer without works is dead. You know, it's like,
Yes.
yeah, we could pray, but as you said, we have to place the order, you know, and then the law makes it happen. You didn't say, I want to go to Kenya. You just said, I want to go to Africa. And the law worked it out. You were coming from a loving place for yourself. It wasn't through anger or resentment. Oh man, these people charging too much. You went the other way. I don't know how, but I want to go to Africa. And the law is like, got it. It's like the genie in the bottle. It's like your wish is my command.
That's right.
That's the law. It's like, that's what you want. Oh, is that it? And that's it. That's it. Yes, that's it. Yes. That's our commitment, our daily commitment to love, and love says we got a law that's going to make it happen. I'm just like checking in. Is you coming from a place of love? Yeah, it's going to happen. And life affirming way. Yeah.
I love the way what you said, Jay. When we go to a restaurant, that's true. We don't think about how it's going to be cooked. We don't think about who's gonna cook the food. We don't think who's gonna serve the food. We just make the order, and we know the food is gonna come to where we're sitting. We know. We don't even think about all the details. We don't think about nothing. We just look at the menu. We said, this is what I like to eat, and then like magic, it shows up in front of us. You know what I mean? So I love that example, Jay, because I want everyone to think about what your heart desire is and place an order just like that. Just like that. The universe will conspire for all the house, for all the who's, for all the wheres. It does. It really does.
And the way.
And Ellen, you know what came up in mind when you were just saying that you don't go to a Chinese restaurant and say, why isn't it Mexican food? I really wanted Mexican food. You know what I'm saying? And you don't go, and vice versa. You don't go to a French restaurant and say, where's the Caribbean food? So know what you're asking for, right? Go ask for what you want from that place. Don't ask for something and expect something else. This is what you ask for. Especially like if I had looked at Rodney, I was like, oh my God, I want Rodney's life. I don't know what Rodney's life entails, right? But I'm like, I want Rodney's life. And then I'm living a life of struggle. I'm like, why is my life? Do you know what life, Reverend Rodney, I'm not putting anything on you. But I'm just saying, sometimes on the outside, we look at other people's thing and say, I want that. But you don't know what the menu is. Don't know what the menu is. Order from the menu that you know that you want. You know what I mean? Don't go blindly saying, I want this when you don't know what that is about.
That's right.
So that's what came to mind, Ellen. Thank you.
And something else I want to point out, a menu consists of more than one item.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's just life, it's like, otherwise, there wouldn't be the word choice.
Hey.
And so, it's so powerful that we do have that ability to make a choice and decide. And you said the word wait, and to me, it's more like, it's even prepare. I know once that food is coming, mentally, my body starts getting ready. I start salivating, the juices in my stomach start getting ready to, like, oh, we got something good happening. The joy factor comes in. Real quick story. I was with some friends at a conference, and we went to go get some ice cream, and we were standing online, and there's this dad and his little daughter behind us, and she was like, ready for ice cream? I'm gonna get some ice cream. And so we got our ice cream, and then she went up with her dad, and he got her ice cream, and we were standing off to the side eating ours, and she was just so happy eating ice cream that the ice cream fell off the cone on the floor. she was just happy to have it, but she was like that before she got it, so she wasn't just waiting for it, she was enthusiastically preparing for it. So that's also part of the law. It's like we're energizing it. We are using a high frequency of love, that energy of love. And the law says, oh yeah, I can work with this, because if you just say the words, sometimes it just falls flat.
No,
But when
yeah.
you're looking at that menu and you're like, oh, which one, and I don't know, Ellen may remember. Sometimes I have a difficult time with menus. I just want everything. I'm like, oh, what's that? I want that. Okay, pick one thing, you know. And so it really is so special what you both have mentioned, about working with the unlimited choices, and then it becomes, of course, physical, when we're working on a quantum level, and just breaking it down into that one thing to focus on, and then the law can work in your favor, in your behalf. So so let me see if we have another quote, and let's see. Yes. Okay. It says, infinite love harmonizes man's entire being. Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 219. And infinite love is the love that lasts forever, that is all, as we're already been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It just brings everything together. Everything works, as Ellen was saying, for our greater good. The universe is conspiring. That's that harmony into our entire being. It's like mind, body, soul, the spirit. It all comes together. And please remember that there's only one. So even though we seem like these individualized expressions of God, of the Creator, we are of all beings, and we're all in harmony, all working for a greater good. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
point that out. Anybody else want to mention anything about that?
So, yes, infinite love harmonizes man's entire being. And I think of our body and how every function of the body has to work together, right? If the mind is not working with the heart, and the heart is not working with the lungs, and the lungs are not working with the kidneys, what happens? We fall apart. We fall apart. Each one is infinitely valuable and important. And that is, that's the micro aspect. And the macro aspect is each one of us in this world is important. And we must learn to work in harmony, right? Rooted in love. That is where peace comes.
Mhm.
That is where peace comes. And, and we see that disruption in our world today because, unfortunately, one faction thinks they're more important than the other faction, right? When the truth is, we all matter. We all belong. And without each of us moving in love with each other, we're going to have that discord. We're going to have the unrest that we experience, whether it's in our environmental area, world, in, you know, even world religions, right? When we think I have the answer and I'm the one and only true. There's no one and only true. God shows up in infinite ways. Look at the trees, look at the birds. There's not one bird, there's not one tree, there's not one flower, there's not one of anything,
Mhm.
right? And so that's the truth of it. And I think nature is one of our greatest teachers because they show that when we are in harmony with each other, how beautiful it can be,
Yes.
right? When we look out and say, "Oh my God, look at this!" You go into the forest and you see all the different trees and how they feed off of each other, and this one feed this one and that one, and you know, animal king. It's like, yo, just love harmonizes. It really does. When we remember the truth of it, and we make the choice to live from it.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's a great thing to, as you were saying, to remember. As we remember what Ellen was also reminding us about, we are already there. It's already harmonized. It's always harmonizing. are we seeing with the eyes of God, with the eyes of love? That it's already harmonized. It's not like I have to sit and wait for it to be harmonized. It already is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love what you just said, Reverend Rodney, because it's already is. We just have to be it.
Yeah.
That's right. It's already is. We just have to be it. All, in this human experience, we must bring what is into our human experience.
Mhm.
So if we just be with it, then we can experience it. Love it. Yes.
All right. So we're going to move a little quickly. We have
The affirmations.
almost. Hold on. We're just going to throw these out here. We don't have to spend any real discussion on them, but just so that folks know. It says love. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, love the life of your mind, furnishing it ever with new thought, so that your countenance glows with the joy of being alive. John O'Donohue, to bless the space between us, page 31. Love the
Mm.
life of your mind.
And
Yes.
yeah, we have a choice. We can furnish it with new thought. We don't have to keep trying to rehash the old stuff and trying to live in the past, live from our memories. No, that's not being alive. All right, we have one more before we go to the affirmations. Oops. Is that a sign? No, hold on.
Oh.
What happened? It's missing. Here we go. There it is.
In moments of real inspiration, we realize to a degree, at least, that God is all, the life in everything, and the love. That's Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind, page 82. Remember, in moments of real inspiration, you and me can realize to a deeper degree that there's only one, and that is love. That you and me and everyone within is love. Because that's all there is. Love.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
All right. Good. We're going to jump into the affirmations. And as we always do, each one of us will take one and we'll invite everybody to take a breath and give a breath and then recite the affirmation. And we'll do that twice for each affirmation. So here we go.
I'll start. Okay, so we'll start.
Yeah.
We'll take a deep breath. It is so that I trust in my divine nature, dissolving the illusion of separation. Yes, let's say that again. Take a deep breath. It is so that I trust in my divine nature, dissolving the illusion of separation.
All right.
Jay.
It is so that I release fear, control, and old stories, allowing my true nature to flow freely. Let us breathe that in. Oh my God. Freedom. Inhale. Let us release that. It is so that I release fear, control, and old stories, allowing my true nature to flow ever so freely.
All right. I invite each one to take a breath in and give a breath out.
Yes.
It is so that I practice love daily through patience, presence, and conscious care. Let's just taste that. Breathe in again. It is so that I practice love daily through patience, presence, and conscious care. It is so. Oh, wow, way to go. It is so, and so it is, and now it is.
I say.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to do a treatment to ground all that we have already talked about, and then we'll move into the next part. So be right back.
Okay.
And so please join me in this space of oneness, even more heightened awareness of oneness, of love, of law, that there is only one. And so I am the presence is living itself in, through, and as I am, as Ellen, as Jay, as each and everyone watching this, as all those who are not watching this. That's everyone, everyone. So I am knowing that love is a question and love is the answer. No matter what the question, love is the answer. I am also knowing that mission possible through love and through the use of the law to make it into manifestation, to materialize it, for our each and every one's utilization, the harmony of it all coming together for the great good, for myself and for all. That this shows up in all of our affairs, shows up in our affairs of relationships, of financial affairs, shows up in our health, shows up in our well-being, our success. It shows up in every way, because in every way and everywhere, God is. And since God is love, love is everywhere, never less, and always more, because that's the nature of the universe. Always expressing, always expanding, always more. And I am praying by knowing that that growth is happening within each and every one of the one. That there is an expansion and growth within the mind, within the heart, within the soul. That spirit is expressing as more love, more peace, more joy, more compassion, more understanding, more forgiveness. All of that great good in the name of love is happening right here and right now. And I affirm this by knowing this is the truth. And each one gets to remember that this is the truth and act in responsible ways, responding in loving ways. And so I know that the law is already acting on this word, already bringing forth this good for those who are more aware and those who are becoming more aware. Mission possible. Yes. It happens through love. And love directs the law. And the law says, yes. And so it is. And I say, this is the truth already manifesting through the law. I affirm it by saying it is so. And so it is. And now it is. Yes. And so right now we have Ellen come in and talk about the power of prayer, which.
Yeah, so that was a treatment, a 5-step treatment. And here at One Love Center, we have professional prayers ready and willing and able to remind you of your truth, of your spiritual truth, the power that is within you. That power that is always charged and ready to be used. So here at One Love Center, you can always send us an email, send a request for prayer, and you can send it to our email at onelovecenter.org. And or you can send us a message at 646-685-3344. And remember that all your prayers are confidential. No one will share your prayers, and we'll keep praying for you for 7 days. If after 7 days you would like us to continue to pray for you, please make sure that you do send us another email or another text, and we will continue to pray for you for that situation or that condition to be shifted. Also, at this time, we would like to say thank you to all the generosity of everyone that has continuously sent your donations to One Love Center. If this is your first time here at One Love Center and this is your first time feeling inspired, spiritually fed, to share your donations with One Love Center, we are open to receive them, and we know that those donations are multiplying in your life in so many ways. Because the reality of it is that money is just one form of money. Money is energy. And because it's energy, it shows up in so many ways in your life. So know that when you share your good in the form of money to One Love Center, you're multiplying your abundance. And so at this moment, we'd like to invite you to say the affirmation of abundance with us. Money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I'm actively creating a space to receive more gifts, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works this gift do in our center and in our world. And now it is. So, and we're showing up in the bottom. If this is your first time donating to One Love Center, you just have to go to our website, onelovecenter.org, click on the donate button, and it's going to take you through the process of PayPal. You can also, there in our page, you can see the address where you can send the money if you want, if you're still using checks. But you can also use the Cash Me app that the symbol sign is CSL, I believe it's One Love CSL. To One Love Center. Okay, thank you so much for your donations, and we bring Reverend Rodney back.
Thank you, Ellen. Yes, indeed. And I have a few announcements. First and foremost, before that, tech support. We could use some tech support. So if you know someone who's interested in being in some service, selfless service on Sunday, a short period of time, we request your assistance. You can contact us at our phone number, 646-685-3344, or email us at onelove@onelovecenter.org to be of service. Bless you and thank you. And it doesn't have to be every Sunday. However, we appreciate any time that you can devote to helping us manage our Sunday broadcast. Also, Science of Mind magazine. I just want to bring it up very quickly. Okay. Science of Mind magazine. It's a wonderful magazine. 2 months come in one issue. And also, right now, for people who are interested in having it, you can sign up with, go to our website and sign up to receive our newsletter. And in doing so, we will arrange for you to get 6 months free of Science of Mind magazine. And so, again, go to our website, onelovecenter.org, and let us know of your intention to be more a part of One Love Center for Spiritual Living. And there is the contributor for this month doing the affirmations. His name is Jeffron Seeley. And today's affirmation, that's not today's affirmation. Never mind. It didn't get changed. That's all right. Well, I can actually read it. And so, I have my Science of Mind magazine right there. So today's affirmation, very quickly, on the 25th, is: my journey of life is blessed, filled with abundance and expansion. This journey is a continuous unfoldment within me. So there you go. So next, we also have the book of the month, Mark Nepo, Becoming the Endless Practice, becoming who you were born to be. Okay, and you can see that information on in our email. Also, we'll get to that later. Here we go. Convention of the Americas coming up July 21st to the 25th. And it's going to be a wonderful time. I've been there twice already, even seems like more. Ellen will be there. Jay will be there. And we'll have more people there. We'll have all kind of wonderful activities going on. You can find out more information at, Ellen, can you read that for me?
That is www.conventionoftheamericas.org. You go to that website. We added to the Facebook and the YouTube, where you could just click on the link, and you'll be directed to the website where you could get all the details.
Okay, great. And now is the time. You can still get in on the early bird pricing, and until I think June 1st, I believe, something like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you want to say something, Jay? No. Okay. So, brings together people from all over the world, and it's just awesome. Let's see. Also, I want to mention something else. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Okay, it's coming. My mom would say, so is Christmas. Okay, here we go. People of African Descent New Thought Group. Okay, this is coming up August 13th to the 16th. And there's group pricing still available. 5 or more, you get a discount. So you definitely want to do that. So save the date. And now's the time to start getting your flight and registering and everything. And again, it's so much like the previous or like other conventions. We have wonderful speakers, and I'm going to do a quick video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just so you get an idea of what it's going to.
The People of African Descent New Thought Group presents Celebrating Our Soul, Claiming Our Sacred Power at Unity Village from August 13th through 16th, 2026. This exclusive event hosts Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith of Agape International Spiritual Center, Brother Dr. Ishmael Tete from the Ethiopian Mission in Ghana, meditation leader and teacher, professional sacred space holder, Reverend Paulette Pipe, and more. The People of African Descent New Thought Group once again brings you top quality masterclass presenters like Reverend Deborah Johnson, Master Practitioner Aisha Mason, Reverend Vernell Nelson, Jeffrey Noble, and more. Not only do we have empowering workshops, but the grounds and ambience are sublime. Yes.
Okay, so there's more to that. However, you can check it out online at People of African Descent New Thought Group, Celebrating Our Soul, on Facebook, or you can look for the website at padntg.org. All right. So thank you for sharing with us today. Thank you for being with us. Please feel free to share this with your communities. Okay. And we invite you for next Sunday.
Hey guys, I cannot hear anything.
Oh, well, I hear you. I hear you.
I heard the.
Well, okay, I don't know what happened. But anyway, we will bring her back in just a moment for our close. And so come back next week. We're talking about divine doubt, and the weekly topic is self-doubt as a starting block. All right, so here we go. Can you hear us now? Okay, well, we're going to pray out. I want to thank you all for being here. And any last comments, Ellen? You're muted, Ellen. Okay.
It was great to be here. I'm grateful to. Let's see this. Okay. I am grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be with Jay and share amazing minds, one mind, the mind of God, as all of us, as each one of us, in an individualized form and as one. So I just love it. I'm grateful for each one of you that are watching us now, and also for those of you that will be watching this broadcast later.
Yeah.
All right.
See,
Jay?
Rodney, for some reason I cannot hear you. I hear Ellen perfectly clear, but I can't hear anything you're saying. So
Ellen, please ask her to make any final comments before we go into prayer.
To make any final comments before we go to prayer.
All right. Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to read a prayer that was found on the gravesite of a young child at the Ravensbrück concentration camp during World War II. And I feel that it epitomizes what we've been speaking about here today, about having a choice and moving in love. And it's a short prayer. It goes, "O Lord, remember not only the women and men of goodwill, but also those of ill will. But do not remember all the suffering they have inflicted upon us. Remember instead the fruits we have borne because of this suffering, our comradeship, our loyalty, our humility, the courage, the generosity, the greatness of heart which has grown out of all of this. And when they come to judgment, let all these fruits which we have borne be their forgiveness." Be their forgiveness. That is love. It is a choice. We are made from love. Thank you.
And so it is.
So it is.
And now it is.
And now it is. Yes. Thank you,
All
Jay.
right. So we're now going to go to our closing song and come back and say goodbye. So let her know, please.
We're going to go to do our closing song, and then we'll come back to say bye-bye.
There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the one love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. Whoa. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. Through our prayer and meditation, joyous sacred celebration, we give thanks for all we are. Every soul has come so far. Love in action, service true, the divine spirit that is you. We're awakening, can't you see? Living love and living free. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to this sacred space where we honor every face, the splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing hand in hand, together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. Oh, one love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home to one love. Where love grows. Where love grows. Where love grows.
One Love Road. Peace and blessings. Thank you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks all for watching. Remember to share. It's so wonderful, powerful, wonderful session. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ellen. Okay. Peace.